The Big 12 told you that they were going to screw Oklahoma and Texas before the season ever started. And when Oklahoma, gave them a chance to do it, they did it. So it's really only Oklahoma's fault.
Got a monster inside of me. You better watch out if you ignite me. The road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets claws real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling this war. Never getting bored, loves the blood. And
Let's go!
More data from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the fourth departed. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped, you'll be chewed up.
Welcome to our Hall of Fame College Football and Horns Down podcast tandem stream here tonight. We're going to talk about the final Bedlam for the foreseeable future and how offensive coordinator / referees did Oklahoma in on their chance probably for a Big 12 championship and definitely for the college football playoff. Welcome into the show, Chris from the Horns Down podcast. Chris, thanks for coming in. What do you got to say about that debacle?
You got time?
I got time.
You got time.
Nothing but
All right.
time. Bro.
So first off, ladies and gentlemen, hey, look, this is the joint podcast between the Horns Down podcast and the Hall of Fame College Football podcast. Go ahead and like, subscribe, do all those things to the channels, help us out, content creators, all the rest of that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have been listening to me and my podcast, you know that on earlier on and here and there, we have a little place where we call Chris's Corner. So we're going to step into that real quick. And Jason, I'm sorry, this may take a little bit, but I'm just going to get it out.
Brother. I can sit here with you for a minute.
1 out of every 5 plays cannot. Can I cuss? Can I cuss?
Yeah.
Cannot be a fucking jet sweep or a tricky handoff or some stupid ass out route. I said it on Twitter. I just tweeted this. I don't blame Venables. Venables is in a position where he places a lot of trust in everyone around him. But the fact of the matter is that Venables is going to have to figure out what he's going to do with Levy's play calling. It is inexcusable at this point. I don't care what you saw from OSU. I don't care what you saw from Kansas. I don't care that we struggled the past 3 games. I'm talking about the here and now. It is a problem. It is a problem. There is a time and a place for all the cute stuff. You cannot come out there and run a gimmick offense whenever you're able to establish the run, whenever you're able to establish the pass game. You can't even do those things because you don't want to assert your dominance on the team. You want to run your script and be cute. Gavin Freeman should not be on the field anymore. He doesn't cut up the field. He doesn't catch any slants. He doesn't catch any passes. Take him off the field. It's done. J.J. Hester. Why is J.J. Hester on the field? He hasn't played all year. Put Gibson in the game. I'm gonna keep on going. Why is Javonte Barnes in the game? Javonte Barnes has lost his confidence. He's lost it. Fact of the matter is, it's simply this right here. That last play to Stoops, the little sprint out. I'm going to say this, and I hope people hear me on this.
Good Lord.
Venables, it's time to take over. It's time to take the trust back, and it's time for you to get on the mic or to show up to each meeting and tell Levy, don't run any cute stuff. Push the freaking ball. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Our defense, we're putting our defense on the field. They're getting 3 and outs. They're getting interceptions when you need them. You can't finish.
Yeah.
Levy screwed up a wet dream. We had the college football playoffs on the line. We had the Big 12 championship on the line. Now he just made it a hell of a lot harder to make it to Arlington. So the fact of the matter is that Venables, I'm looking at you now. I love you as our guy. You're our head coach. I know that you're going to do great things once we go to the SEC and all the rest of that. You got to figure it out about Levy. Because at this point, I really don't know what else to say. I just don't get Levy. I don't understand it. I don't understand his play calling. I don't understand his mentality. This is
Yeah, Chris's corner.
Hold on, I got one more point. I didn't want to really go here, but I am. Art Browse would never call the shit that Levy calls, and it's his offense. Art Browse wouldn't call none of the shit that Levy calls, and it's his offense. Let's be real.
No, there's no doubt about it. I think that it was really illuminated when you're in the second quarter. You get the ball on the 1 yard line. You get inside plus territory with standard throwing it up the field plays, and then you get cute.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get cute with the direct snap to a running back who's supposed to now pitch it or hand it to Dylan. And apparently our center can't snap it. You better be under center because he might be liable to throw the son of a bitch out of the stadium. So, but we're going to try to do something cute. It's unfathomable to me that you continue to get calls like this when you are moving. They did not stop Oklahoma once today. Oklahoma stopped themselves on a number of occasions. On a number of occasions. Drop passes. I will say this. The officials missed not just the last pass interference call in the end zone. Yeah. They also missed two more in the game. And then you had Nick Anderson, of all people, dropping that ball that probably would have been 6. But, and I got to say, for the first time, I'm going to say something about Dylan. You got to be on time. If you don't have the arm that you don't have, you got to get the ball out on time on deep throws. Period. But I'll tell you another thing. When you said it yourself, look, how many times I sat here and counted it, and I was in there on Discord, and Steve B, how many times did we talk about horizontal plays? Horizontal plays. Hell, I was sitting watching the Oklahoma breakdown, and you heard Teddy and Gabe say it. If you're going to run that jet sweep and you don't have a vertical threat going on with it, then it's a trash play. How is it that they know this and they're not coaching, and they've played a lot of football, but they're not coaching, and everybody in that damn building hasn't gotten a hold of him yet? Why are we doing a bunch of freaking horizontal plays at the line, which is the only place that they're going to make a play? They're not going to make a play in the secondary.
No.
Unless they freaking interfere with the play. It's unfathomable to me that this would continue on.
Look, first off, let me just go ahead and end this real quick. Cowpoke Ranch, whatever the case may be, the fact of the matter is that you guys are have won 20 games in all of the 120 plus games that have been played. Fact of the matter is you guys have one Big 12 championship, and 2, you guys are celebrating a 1945 championship that you had to claim. That's not a championship, it's imaginary. Nobody that looked like me played at that, so we don't really count that. So we'll go ahead and exit out of that OSU conversation.
It's not just on the refs. I said that if you're going to put it in the refs' hands, you should expect to get screwed, because they've already told you. The commissioner himself said that they were going to get it. And all of last year, Oklahoma had one freaking holding call against them. Yeah, against one of their conference opponents.
I'll say it. Look, one of my uncles, he always would tell us.
You don't have to like it, Professor, but it's real.
One of my uncles would always tell me, he's like, hey, look, you got to be 20 points better. You got to be 10 points better than the opposing team and 10 points better than the refs. And we weren't that today. Fact of the matter is, I'm going to put it like this right here. It's squarely on the offense. Because you don't play complementary football. When the defense is getting you these 4, they're moving the ball, and then you stop all the momentum. They made Ollie Gordon work for most of what he got today. Okay. Fact of the matter is,
One sec.
Go ahead.
Professor, that's exactly what I just said. I said it to start the damn stream too. You can't put it in the officials' hands in the Big 12 because they're trash anyway, and they're certainly bending over OU, and Texas will get bent over too before it's all over with.
Yeah, no, hell, it should have happened today, but it didn't. But the fact of the matter is simply just right here. First off, okay, Levy, this is what, because like I said, all eyes are on Levy right now. Stogner serves no purpose out there. He got his ass kicked all day. That split zone, we were able to get it, have success out of it because they can't stop the run. They're running 3-3-5. Run the ball. Why is Tyree only touching the ball 2 times? You're so inconsistent. The defense is fine with rotating. You're not. Keep your guys in there. Like the offense is just, it's broken. Our offense is broken. I don't know what to tell anybody else except for our offense is broken right now because our OC, our play caller, there are some drives where Levy it's like, okay, yeah, that's all that you have to do. And then he wants to go back to whatever script he has. That stuff does not work. That stuff does not work. Why are you running a third down play, sticking somebody in the middle that hasn't played, that doesn't do that? Brennan Thompson is not that guy. Put Drake Stoops at that spot. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get Levy, man. Like this, these are the losses that kill me. These are the losses that kill me inside when you know that you lost because you made all these fatal mistakes. If you would have told me, hey, we would have given up 60 points, 40 points, something like that, we gave up a lot more points than what we did in just 28 or 27 points. If you would have told me that we would have gave that up more, I would have said, okay, I can see that because we're playing freshmen now. We're playing Kobe McKenzie. We're playing Kip Lewis. We're having to play Vickers. We're playing guys like that. Gentry's not having a great day. I can see that, but that didn't happen. The fact of the matter is that your offense is incapable of sustaining drives and scoring points.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point that I was making earlier was, look, you think about this for a second, and Steve B said this in the Discord. That was about to be a 99-yard drive. A 99-yard scoring drive. How does that change the entire complexity of the freaking football game? You were on first down, and you don't hit Sawchuck again up the middle or on the edge even, whatever. Not one time did Dylan Gabriel run the football today.
No, he tried, and he should have handed the ball off.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, man. The bottom line is if you're going to go and you always with this trickery crap. Why? What is the point? They're not stopping the basic part of your offense. They're not stopping it. So why get cute? Why? What in the hell is the point?
Do you see this comment from Miles? Levy's play calling feels like Levy feels like an offensive Pete Golding. That is the comment of the year. That is the comment of the year. I couldn't have said it better myself. Guys, if any of y'all, if it's not ringing a bell who Pete Golding is was the former defensive coordinator at Alabama. The guy that would use freaking what was the linebacker they had last year? Will Anderson. He would use him as a spy. He would use him as a nose tackle. He would put him all over the place and run him out of the play. They would run 1-4-6s and stuff like that. Like Ty could tell you better than I can, but that's exactly who Levy is. He's the offensive Pete Golding. You never know what the hell you never know what the hell he's going to run. It's just so inconsistent. From drive to drive, I don't know what we're doing. We're not building on
Well,
it.
somebody in there just said a few minutes ago that, you know, essentially this offense doesn't have an identity. And it doesn't.
No, it
you
doesn't.
cannot hang your hat on any one thing. You've been able to hang it on look, and as much as I've been giving love to Dylan Gabriel, and he's played his ass off this season, but the last 2 weeks he hasn't. You know, he made some plays today, and you know, he kept them in the game. Thank God for little Stoops, man, because the dude kept making plays. But I'm telling you, you have got to look. It's just like that. Why does that last play? Why would you ever run a pattern that doesn't, on fourth down, that doesn't get the ball to you beyond the sticks?
I don't get that. That sprint out pissed me off. I was like, he's not even.
Oh, bro, it's bad. It's bad. Yeah, look.
One more play. One more play. I got you one more play.
All right.
I'm looking at Dylan. First off, I think it was the wrong play. Just run the ball. You're inside. You're on. Just run the ball. Put Tawee in the game and run the damn ball. But you want to run this wheel route and get Dylan sacked. Puts us at 2nd and 13. It was open too, and he was rushing himself. He could have threw it. Stogner popped open. Was definitely open. Smothers was open. I was like, it's touchdown. Throw the fucking ball.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it. I mean.
And all throughout the comments, hey, everybody in the comments, I want y'all to know we're not just letting your comments go. We see the comments. Everybody's saying the same thing in the comments. Why do we do so many good things and then go away from it?
Yeah. Look, and Wilkerson, that's right. Just like that. If you're gonna go for it there, go for it. Stop being indecisive. That's one thing I'll say about BV. And look, where I don't necessarily agree with what you have to say about is when you started off, you said that this isn't on BV. It is on BV. He hears the damn plays that are being caught. He knows what the game plan is. In fact, his game plans are more freaking detailed than, remember last year when everybody was bitching about how detailed his game plans were? They know what the hell's going on. And when he could have looked through that and saw, well, this is a lot of horizontal passing. Mm-hmm. And why is this trick play here? Why are we even doing this? He watches practice. They have live sessions. I don't understand that. When you have the better athletes, that defense was not good. And your defense was stopping the number one running back in the country. He got his 100, but barely. And he got his ass handed to him on a lot of plays. You go out there and you hold them to that kind of performance out there, and you don't get a win, that is absolutely on the offense. Look, you're not going to stop these offenses these days 100% of the time. Even Georgia doesn't do it. Alabama doesn't do it. It's not going to happen.
Unc had my uncle's in here. He had a comment. I thought that to me that's spot on. I was thinking that as well. He said that once Anthony went down, that basically screwed up all of that was Levy's system. Levy's system was based around him.
Around what? Who?
Around Anthony, Andrell Anthony.
But that doesn't look. There's guys on the team that are faster. You didn't even see. You know what? I put out that preview this morning, and I was talking about the same thing that we had been talking about, right? How often we were talking about getting in. Damn it,
Petaway or Brennan Thompson.
Brennan Thompson, and you know what? I heard so many people say it the entire week. I heard it every freaking. Ty was talking about it on Around the Table. Whenever I was on there on Monday, I watched, they talked about it. Teddy Lehman said it, that if you didn't run 10 deep routes with him to get the freaking guys out of the box, then you weren't doing your job. And again, Instead of doing that, whether you throw the freaking ball to him or not, you clear it out. And if they don't go with him, you get a touchdown. The problem with DG today is his timing. He doesn't look, you got to have a stronger arm than that if you're going to wait.
Yeah.
As soon as he gets in his break on that deep ball, you got to let it go.
Hey,
that's what's called throwing people open.
Hey, he only had one where he had hit a guy in stride and Farouk had to come back to every ball that he was throwing anyway. Now those were pass interference, but Farouk was beating those guys left and right.
I know it. Look, they were beating those corners were not staying with any of those deep routes. You got to get the ball off. You got to get it off on time, and he holds it. He doesn't hold it as long as he did last year when he took all those damn sacks, but he took sacks today that he didn't have to take. That interception that he held that one too long and got hit, and he you threw it into triple coverage anyway. What the hell was that? He doesn't have a Landry Jones arm. He doesn't have a freaking Jackson Arnold arm. You don't have time to wait. Throw the stupid football. If you know anything about these RPOs and these spread type offenses, man, it's all built on timing. If you don't get the ball out on time, you're looking to get the ball turned over.
Yeah,
we're not in max protect, so you can't stand back there all day. Unbelievable.
It's just the inconsistencies, man.
What Mike was saying earlier was talking about why in the hell do you take a timeout to kick a field goal?
Yeah.
Look, if you were going to do that, then you should have sent that damn team on there. And then if you wanted to go for it, then you take your timeout and make sure you have the right play. But that's the thing. You don't even wait around for the clock to run down ever on the play clock. It never. Look, in the end, I'm going to say this, and right now there's no reason I'm upset, and Chris is upset, and you guys are all upset, and we should be. You cannot wait on the stat guy. You're right. You cannot wait getting help from any officials, and particularly these Big 12 officials. They've been the worst officials in the country for a long damn time, and now they're all trying to stick it to Oklahoma and Texas on their way out of the league. They've been doing it this is the second straight year.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put it in their hands, then it's still your fault. And this is still the fault of Oklahoma. And that goes for every one of them. It goes for Brent Venables too. It ultimately lands on his shoulders when you don't fix it. And if BV looked sick before he called that too. Look, if you're afraid to do it, that's a problem, coach.
Yeah.
That's a problem. You know what? If you're afraid to lose, you're going to lose. So, you know what? Make the call and freaking own it. If it fails, then it fails. But own the shit. Thank you for the super chat, Lemon. Fire Levy, put Jackson in the game as a quarterback and see what he can do. Levy needs to walk, and if you do deep throws, get Jackson to do it. Listen, before you guys get too crazy about firing him so far, right now, I think that you could look at it to change. Here's the thing. I don't know. You're probably going to have to make a big change the whole way around if you're going to do that. Because here's the deal. This does not help you keep Jackson Arnold around if Levy leaves. He came here to play for Levy. He was going to go to Ole Miss and play for Levy. He probably leaves with him. I don't care if his girlfriend's there or not. I don't. I'm ignoring everybody high top.
I don't know. I don't necessarily know. I think, because you would have to see what I'm gonna be real with you, Jason. Let's just be real. Let's be 1,000% real. Who the hell is hiring him?
Who's hiring who?
Lebby, who the hell is going to hire him?
Alabama, probably.
Yeah, as an OC, but not a head coach. Like, no, I mean, come on.
I'm not
man.
saying as a head coach. I'm saying as an OC. I'm telling you, he's not ready to be a head coach. But you gonna tell me that he couldn't go to Saban's little freaking coaches rehabilitation center and become better? Because Saban would step up and make sure that he's calling what he wants him to call.
Yeah.
Just like what was going on with Lane. Lane kept him under his thumb. I don't think that Lane called every play. He allowed him to game plan it and call plays, but he had the final say. And look, I understand that you want to give him the opportunity to call his plays, and he should do that because Brent Venables is not an offensive play caller. He never has been. I get that. But look, at some point, you have to step in and say, look, what are we doing? What are we doing? If you can get vertical, why are we going horizontally on this field? High top, what did I miss? USC looks good. Yeah, they're going to give up at least as much as they score. Come on now.
I guess. I mean, we kind of beat a dead horse over the head, but going forward, I mean, West Virginia, Baylor. I mean, not Baylor, but BYU, and then TCU at home. 3 very winnable games. But are you?
Yeah.
You know, I told PG this, and shout out to PG. PG, if you're watching this or if you see this, look, I'm not trying to go at you, man, but I'm just telling you. All that, nobody saw this team going to the playoffs, this and that. Look, let's be real. Expectations changed after the Texas game. Expectations changed. And the fact of the matter is that you're a talented team losing because of bonehead decisions, bonehead play calling, bonehead and piss poor execution all over again. These are the things that we thought that we had cleaned up from last year. Like we've been saying for the longest, we're ahead of schedule. I'll give this team that. But the fact of the matter is we're still not there. We're still not there. It's not good enough and it's not acceptable. Okay. I just feel like there's a lot. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Until Stutzman gets back, run with Kip, run with Kobe. Why? Because Koenig doesn't know what the hell he's doing out there. There was a couple of plays Koenig should have made. There was one play in particular that he should have had an interception if he would have kept going, but he stopped because he's thinking too much. Fact of the matter is, man, is that games are very winnable, man. You should win. You should be dominant. You should be, but it's let Gasso call our plays. I mean, she'll call a better game than him, but I mean, it's just way too cute, man. It's way too cute. OSU did nothing today except for try to dress up a couple of looks, come out in different formations, and shuffle up, run their regular stuff. They did nothing crazy. They tried to run that double pass, and that didn't work. It's a time and a place for it all, man. You have to play football. At some point, you have to just say, let's just play football. Venables is going to have to get in his ear. What's going to have to to happen going forward for Lebby, if I could just finish this point, what has to happen for Lebby to be, in my opinion, not on the hot seat, not doing anything crazy, there has to be a change of philosophy. There has to be something to his approach because, like I said, that's not even the Baylor offense. That's not.
It's not.
Jeff Lebby right now, and yeah, there'll probably be a lot of teams that will hire him or whatnot. But at the end of the day, what's the difference between what Jeff Lebby's doing on offense and Dan Enos? And I'm sure people could point out differences, but come on, man. It's the fact that we're even talking like this right now is just crazy.
It is. Folks, we've got over 80 folks in here in the stream, and between all 80 of you folks, we have 25 likes. We did not call the plays or lose the game. Help us out here. Y'all are in here venting. We're letting you do it. Please hit the like button. on both channels. On both channels, please. So Lebby, I don't know that Lebby's out either, and I think that somebody said it up there that they that Saban may have ran up the till on him. They got him a better contract. May not be able to afford to fire him and pay somebody else. Now, afford is a stupid thing to say, but
I think Seth Luttrell is on your staff right now. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Listen. Yeah, hit the like button if you want Lebby fired. Thank you, Stat. Oh, I love it, man. That's my homie. Look, my thing is this, and I'm not, look, I think that Lebby, he comes from good backing. I mean, he's seen it at the highest level of calling offense. I mean, man, I think you hit it right on the head when you said his daddy-in-law would not call a game like that.
He wouldn't.
He was going to attack you up the damn field. Period.
He's going to push the football. He's not running 30 jet sweeps a game, man.
And
it's the time and place for that.
Look, when you have a quarterback that is mobile enough, and I'm not saying that he's RG3 or anything like that, but he's good enough that, and that seems to be when Dillon Gabriel plays at his best, is when you let him go and just improvise a little bit, kind of Baker Mayfield-ish. He ain't as good as Baker. But, and I'm not, don't freak out on me for saying that, guys. But I'm going to tell you that if you try to keep Baker in the pocket, that was not doing him any good either. They're little guys. Baker had a much bigger arm, but he was better outside the pocket. Playground rules.
Fact of the matter is that
that's gonna happen.
Yeah, coach. And I know coach is probably eating this up right now, but look, look. All I gotta say is this right here. Something's got to change. Something's got to give, man. Something has to give.
Before you say anything crazy, that's my mother.
Hi, Miss Cindy.
Yeah, everybody.
But no, I just Gabriel has one more year of college football to play. Do you take him back, or do you go ahead and start the?
Oh no, I think that you have to get Jackson in at this point. I said earlier on that if they went to the playoff and somehow, bought in and did the whole 2000 thing all over again, because everybody was talking about all the parallels to 2000 and all that shit. I said, if that happens, then you better get ready for another year of Dillon Gabriel. No, at this point, you don't. You don't. And I don't even know that Dillon would stay.
Carvin has a good comment over there if you see what Carvin put up.
Yeah, and Stat, just to answer your question, no. It's not that I wanted him to or didn't, right? But I think you have to be decisive there, is the point. That's all I was saying. Who did? Who had a good comment?
Carvin, okay.
Caravan, okay? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This one. Needed to coaches, and particularly Jeff Levy. Look, and he doesn't mind doing it on the defensive side, and I think that he stepped in quite a bit last year at times that he probably shouldn't have. And now all of a sudden he's not going to do it just because he told Jeff he wouldn't? Come on.
I think Sooner fan had a good comment too.
Sooner fan, problem is that it's become a pattern with this bad play.
It was the one that was down there by DG.
Where? Sooner fan?
Yeah. And I think this is valid. I think this is a valid point. You can't disagree with that.
If you're gonna throw deep balls, you have to be on time if you don't have an arm like Jackson Arnold has, or like I said, like Landry used to have. Landry had a big ass arm. Kyler had a big ass arm. You can get away with it. You can be late and still throw it out in front. Hell, Baker could. Baker had a lot better arm than people gave him credit for.
Just going to the
Lori, that
comment
just
corner.
made you. I was. Did you obviously didn't hear what I said though, because I was saying that you have to. If they had gotten to the playoff, won the national championship for some odd reason, then yeah, you got to expect that he would have come back. At this point, that's not going to be the case. Now, if Levy leaves, then Jackson's gone too, which means that now that being said,
I don't know if he's
Michael
gone
Hawkins,
though.
hey,
That's a
if you
lot.
know
That's
what
loaded.
Michael has a monster arm, and that dude can run. Michael Hawkins is very underrated. Very underrated.
But the fact of the matter is what was the quarterback's name that he had all that success with up there at Ole Miss?
You're talking the Petty, or no, not Petty. No, was it Bryce Petty?
Matt Corral.
Not Corral.
You can't even turn him into that. I mean, this to me, if there's two people that need to go, it's Levy and Joe John. Joe John ain't did nothing while he been here. Our tight ends are not even a factor in this offense.
Right.
Like I said, man, if you go back to it, Stogner was getting his ass whooped every day. He shows effort, but he's getting his ass whooped all day.
What are they saying to you, Mom? Y'all better be nice to my mother. I'll boot y'all's asses out of here right now. Completely. Say whatever you want. But what are we disagreeing about? Who's disagreeing? With what? No, they need to pull their head out of their asses. They all did. You can't, but again, and there's a lot of things, you missed 3 interference calls. 3. That matters. And the one, hell, Drake still caught the damn football out of bounds. He would have caught the ball if they don't tackle his ass.
Hank said Stogner misses blocks like it's his job. That's crazy.
Thank you, Lemon.
Look, like I said, man. Look, we're in here. Jason, you could go longer if you want, man. I gotta let this one sizzle. I got, I went home. I went out, bought me a nice little steak. I was about to cook. I was about to get it all nice. It's calling my name. Just tell me, where do we go from here, man? Just tell me as your final thoughts. Where do we go from here?
I don't know. I think that you need to find a way. Look, again, I'm going to say this one more time. We came into this season talking 9-3, 10-2. That would be a good season. I think it's still a good season if you end up 9-3, 10-2. Now, at this point, I'd much rather see 10-2. I don't think that they need to lose any more football games. And if you want things to look, I'm not trying to blow up the whole thing. I don't care I know everybody's venting and pissed and everything else. I don't want to blow the whole thing up. I don't want to have to blow up the entire offensive recruiting either, because believe it or not, a lot of people want to play for this cat. And you can get better, but he better go to freaking camp with Art. What you're doing and why. And have a plan. The game plan, it's like it's just willy-nilly. He's just looking at plays the whole time and oh yeah, this one looks good. No. You have to have, this is what we need to try to do this game. And if this isn't working, then we need to go to this game plan. It's a game plan. It's not just you got a book full of damn plays. And it's just like we talked about with the jet sweep. It's not building on anything else. You're not doing anything off of it. So why are you still running it?
And that's you know what? Bingo, Jason. Bingo. That's one of the biggest problems with Levy is that Levy doesn't build off of drives. He doesn't build off of certain.
Oh shit! No Beamer to OU stat. Shut up.
It's all about his formations, man. That's what he wants to get in, and I'm fine with that. The spacing, all the rest of that stuff. But man, when you've seen the same damn thing each and every time from these guys, and I don't know what's going on with DeMarco in the running back room. They need to figure it out. They need to figure it out.
If Tawi was able to play, why the hell wasn't he playing before that? There should have been another running back in, but him and Gavin.
Yeah.
because Barnes is not in it. He is checked out. He haphazardly, when that ball came to him and he mishandled it, and he just kind of pushed it to DG, and it hits the ground.
I was just like, just take it. Take the sack.
Any running back, what running back have you ever seen that wouldn't have just took off with that shit?
Yeah.
And look, I think Javonte is a hell of a player. I think that right now he should not be playing. No. He's still hurt, or he's got it in his head that he's still hurt. In the end, we don't have to know what the hell's going to happen for the rest of the freaking career of these guys today. And I think this is the wrong time to make that choice. Where I'm at is there's clearly got to be some things that got to change. There has to be, and look, and that includes Coach Venables. Coach Venables needs to be decisive, and he needs to learn from these things. I know that there's a learning curve from going from a coordinator position to be a head coach. He needs to get on it, because these are the things that are going to get you beat in big games. And God forbid, now we get to listen to these Okie Light assholes for the next 15 years.
Oh, I'm not going to listen to them. They're second-rate citizens in their own state. The fact of the matter is that like, look, you could go crazy about these 20 wins. You go crazy about this last
They're
win.
They're still going to talk a bunch of shit.
They're still going to talk. But you already know that's up my alley. That's fine. But man, tough day for the Sooners, y'all. Tough day, man. Tough day.
Are you talking about Chad or Chandler? Chandler's the quarterback at TCU, bro. Mars. But he might be better.
I think Chad Morris would definitely be better. He went around a lot of stuff that
I don't know. I know Razorback Zach would argue with you about that. But, and Kendall Briles. I don't want Kendall either. Yeah, Smothers is in there in the red zone. It just doesn't even make any damn sense. It just Smothers in there in the red zone. What? Oh, come on. Chad is coaching it out in high school, and then they're lighting it up. Yeah. Look, in the end, I would tell you that I don't think that he's a lost cause, but I don't think that it's too far away from it. And the thing is, if they paid him more money like it sounded like they did to stay around, they're not just gonna fire Jeff Lebby. They're not just gonna do it. And to be honest,
you give him a chance to try to figure it out, but he's got to figure it out. He's got to turn it around very quickly.
It does. Absolutely. And again, I feel like he needs to seek out, look, what am I doing wrong? And because it's simple to see from everywhere out here. And look, it's easy to second guess these coaches from a mile away. We don't have to sit there and deal with it. Okay. It's easy to do that. But here's the thing. When it's obvious to me that you don't have a plan. You don't have a real, like, something that you're trying to accomplish, not just winning the football game. That's a generic plan. The plan has got to be, we need to establish this because we want to get to this, and this is what we're trying to do because this is what we see in that defense. That's not what's going on here. He's not looking at, you can go back and look at my preview. I said, look, you need to hit these guys deep early because that will help you run the football. That simple. And yet the speed guys, Andrew Anthony is not coming back this season. So why are we not seeing Brennan Thompson? Why are we not seeing Jaquez Petaway? These guys are faster than Andrew Anthony. Even if you don't throw it to them, you have to honor that threat because they will beat your ass down the field. Again, it's like, if I can see that from here, what the hell is going on? That's not running through the mind of Jeff Lebby, the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. It just doesn't make any sense. And yes, hey, you know what? The BV penalty was a really bad look. It isn't a great look, but Stat, how often do you see these coaches going out on the side? Even they were talking about it on the broadcast. You see the shit happen every game, and it's rare that it gets called. There's another one of those calls that they're going to call it on Oklahoma. You cannot put them in a position to get you on that call. Can't do it.
It looked like he screamed at him. It looked like he was trying to ask for an explanation, which I think we were.
He wasn't even losing his shit. Yeah, hey, I was surprised that he wasn't. Because I didn't see it when it happened, and then they showed the replay. He wasn't losing his mind. Yeah,
well,
yeah. No, you're not wrong, Stat. You're not wrong. Put a shot collar on him.
Yeah, that had me laughing too.
Yes,
play
calling. That's exactly what I'm saying, Coach. And we'll talk about this when you get on the show with this here, or maybe tonight or whatever on the snap count. I got to tell you, if you're not coaching with the plan of what you're trying to exploit on the other side, and you have a grouping of plays, I don't get it. And look, I understand that BV thinks that, hey, I'm a defensive coach. Maybe this isn't my expertise. If you're a head coach, it's all your shit.
Yeah.
Have input. Sit in on the meeting and ask him why we're doing what we're doing. Why? Explain it to me. That's it. If you do that,
Jason, I wouldn't be surprised if that's not happening. Now, I think that look, Jason, at the end of the day, yes, we could blame BV for this or blame him for that. But I mean, bro, I'm just, like I said, man, this is a Levy thing. This is not just a BV thing.
It's not just a BV thing, but it's BV's team, Chris. It's BV's team.
I get it, but I mean, one of the things I feel like with him is that they literally run everything. Like everything that you see now is what they run in the install or whatnot. And I know that's typical, but people not get what I'm probably going to say with this. What I'm trying to say is simply this right here. BV sees it. BV is like, hey, we could do this. Right. We could. I'm sure that those things are being floated around, but he's still just. I mean,
look at this one. This is exactly correct, Bob. You have to understand offensive schemes, and that's the point. He had look. When you had the Red River game, it was him against Sark. It was BV against Sark. They were playing a chess match between themselves. And it was, you could see that even with, and Sark doesn't always get it right either, by the way, but he's a hell of a play caller. He's got to get it done. At the end of the day, the head coach, end of the day, the head coach answers for everything, and it's up to BV to say enough with this shit. Absolutely. That's the point I'm trying to make. Look, I'm not saying that I want him to just step in and call plays, guys. That's not what I'm talking about. But we know that Coach Venables is very, very meticulous about his game plans, and I mean they're long and drawn out and crazy, and there were times that they said Dabo used to tell him, hey, man, pare that down, son. But you don't have to go so far the other direction. At some point, it's your ass on the line too. Now, he has made – this is a big in the end, we can remember that 6 and 7 is a long ways away from this. It's a long ways away. And they're going to get better, particularly on defense. I think they're still not a finished product. Another thing that we should point out was without Danny in, some of the plays that they gave up, they may not have given it up with Danny because I think there were times they were just out of place.
Yeah, you missed him a lot today. You missed him a lot just from a schematic standpoint, understanding what was really going on situationally. Hats off to Kobe and Kip for stepping up, though. I love what I saw from those two. Have been loving what I've seen from those two. Man, at the end of the day, I say, hey, look, tough loss, on to next week. Got to get ready for West Virginia next week. They're going to come in there with a similar attack. They're going to try to come in there with slants, different things like that. Obviously, stuff that we saw. We just have to be better, man. I'm tapped out, man. I'm tapped out. I'm just.
Yeah. No, and I like Kip and Kobe too. And Bagman, you're not right about that, or you're not wrong about that. My name, you're not either. I get what you're saying. And I'm not disagreeing with you guys. What I'm telling you is I don't really see a big change happening in the offseason. I don't. Other than I would hope that the big changes that come are in. I mean, go to the freaking Bryles camp for God's sakes, man. He's not coaching. Let him coach you. Go pay him part of your salary, Jeff, and get right. Get right. Yeah, and I'm not. I think they have some depth, and that's why they were able to play as well as they did. Hey, listen, there's one thing you got to say. Ollie Gordon did not hurt Oklahoma today.
No, their entire OSU did not hurt OU. It was OU who hurt themselves.
Right.
Self-inflicted wounds.
I feel you, man. And we're creators, so we're gonna have to watch it.
I'll keep my ear to the streets, man. It's gonna be hard. I can't even listen to the franchise. About to have to. My fiance's about to come. She went to the game. One of her friends, they have like a suite down there, so they had an extra ticket for her, and so she went. About to have to hear her talk about her trash ass team. I don't care. I'm out. I'm done. Like I said, Jason, I'm tapped
and he's gonna get divorced before he ever gets married. Watch.
Oh, man. I'm a divorce attorney, so I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hey,
dude, you're wrong. You're wrong. All right, boys, we're gonna go ahead and call that. Give me your last thoughts on it too. I want to hear what you have to say. What is your end game here?
End game is be 10-2. Be 10-2 and give yourself a chance to get to Arlington, because I think there will be a little bit of a shakeup at the top. Fact of the matter is something has to change offensively. You have to be able to play complementary football and be consistent with that. Have to clean up the penalties as well. The penalties are really bad. The run game has finally been established. In my point, you're getting better play from your offensive line for the most part, but you have to be consistent. Consistency is what has been what has been invading this team for the longest, and that's mostly offensively. And that's what's crazy is that, you know, offensively speaking, you would think that would be one of the better or hotter teams in the nation. But the fact of the matter is there are certain limitations. Dylan's timeliness with some of the throws have been an issue. Levy's play calling has definitely been an issue. We keep saying that. So, I mean, the fact of the matter is defensively, I don't know what else you would do. I don't know what more you could do defensively than what you did today. You get two fourth down stops in their red zone. Offense starts moving the ball, and offense does what offense does. So consistency is just, I mean, it invades this team. You can't, when you get those fourth down, when that momentum starts to shift, you go up 21-14 or whatnot, or 21-17, establish dominance. Do not come out there calling any soft play calls, any crazy stuff like that. Establish dominance. Try them down the field. Try them. But the fact of the matter is, yes, you had you had two missed opportunities. You should have hit. Shout out Bucky's. You should have hit. Dylan underthrew yet again, which should have been a defensive pass interference call on Farouk. But the next one, Nick Anderson drops that pass. But the fact of the matter is that this game can all be told in that very last play, whenever you run a sprint out for a 3-yard pass, whenever you need 5.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my point, man. Is simply this right here. It's on Levy. I know we could talk about BV. We just talked about that and all the rest of that stuff, and I agree with you. But at the end of the day, my mind is focused on Levy. We've been asking Levy to respond for the last 3 days, and all he does is come out here and he doesn't even give us coach talk. He defends the bullshit. Let's just be honest. That's what he does. He defends the bullshit.
Yeah, listen, but in the end, it is his job to get it right. It's his job to get his coaches in line, period. Plain and simple. And I agree with you that it's not him making the play calls. But look, he knows what the problem is. And look, he even said last week, we have as fans, they should be pissed off at the way that they played. He said it. So should you, coach. So should you. All right, guys. Thanks a lot, everybody, for coming in. Hey, if you hadn't hit that like button, please make sure that you do. What's up, Neilio? Man, I'm sorry about you guys, too. I don't understand that call down there instead of getting them points and taking it to another OT. But that's for another day. Check us out on the Saturday Night Snap Count with Coach I on Fan Addict Sports Network tonight. I'll be there. Coach, I don't know if you'll be there, but but you should be, and I'll send you the link if you need it. Yeah, listen, guys, make sure y'all go and check us out on there. A lot of college football being played today. I'm sure that it ought to be a lot of fireworks going on in that Washington SC game about right now. And then you got LSU and Bama playing right now too. So, yeah, let's take a look at all that, and I will see you guys on that one. Make sure you get over there and subscribe to Chris's stream if you have not already, because, look, guys, we got to get him to 1,000. Make sure you hit the likes on both channels too. Thank you all for coming in, and we will see you on the next one.
We out.